Inshallah, we'll be very brief, inshallah. We'll be very brief, inshallah. I'll just translate one hadith, inshallah, and I'll finish. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: اعمل لدنياك بقدر بقائك فيها، واعمل لآخرتك بقدر مقامك فيها، واعمل لله بقدر حاجتك إليه، واعمل للنار بقدر صبرك عليها، وإذا أردت أن تعصي الله فانظر مكانا لا يراك فيه، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام: رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني. Respected brothers, elders, maybe our sisters who are listening at home, I've just quoted a hadith, and it's a beautiful hadith of Rasulullah, quoted by Imam Abu Hamid al-Ghazali rahimahullah in his kitab Ayyuha al-Walad. He wrote a kitab called Ayyuha al-Walad, where he's given advices to students or his son, and in that kitab he's related this advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they are very pertinent advices. He says, number one, اعمل لدنياك بقدر مقامك فيها أو بقدر بقائك فيها. Work for the dunya, the duration of time you are staying here. और यहाँ कितना रहना है? How long are we here for? According to the verses of the Quran, you find 4 different ayat of the Quran that show how long we are going to stay in the world. On the day of Qiyamah, when people will be asked, how long did you stay? One group will say, in labithtum illa ashra. You only lived in the world for 10 days. One group will say, labithna yawman aw ba'da yawm. We stayed a day or a part of a day. One group will say, lam yalbathu illa ashiyatan aw duhaha. A morning or an evening. And one Jama'at will say, sa'atan min nahar. It was only maybe an hour. So that is our duration of stay in the world. And now, mashallah, you see how we are running, you must forgive my expression, running like dogs behind the world. This is not a hadith, it's not a hadith, but it is quoted by some as a hadith. But it is not a hadith. Ad-dunya jifatun wa talibuha kilab. Ad-dunya jifatun. The world is a dead corpse, and the people who run after it are dogs. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us from running after the dunya. Ye mana nahi hai. Inshallah, you attain dunya, it is no problem. Okay, amongst the Sahaba, you had big businessmen. Okay, mashallah, you show me a businessman like Sayyidina Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Sayyidina Uthman Zunnurayn. Okay, you will not have people who had those kind of businesses. So they've attained the dunya as well. But so long the dunya stays outside the heart, you are fine. Haji Imdadullah Muhajir Makki rahimahullah used to say, the example of a human heart, and the dunya is like the ship and the water. For the ship sailing, you need water. But the moment the water comes into the ship, then you ask the people of the Titanic. MashaAllah, there's no one alive. But you ask the people of the Titanic, when the water came into the ship, what happened to them? So our duration of stay in this world is very minimal. You know, Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, Hafiz ibn Kathir rahimahullah, in his phenomenal kitab of Tariq al-Bidayah wa Nihaya, has wrote in regards to, and Mufti Muhammad Shafi Sahib rahmatullahi in Ma'arif al-Quran has also mentioned that the longest living Nabi or the longest living human being maybe is Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, who lived for 1,050 years. 1,050 years is the duration of stay of Nuh alayhi salam in this world. Someone asked him, كَيْفَ وَجَدْتَ الدُّنْيَا? How did you find the world and the stay of yours in the world? You know what he said? كَدَاخِلٍ مِّن بَابٍ وَخَارِجٍ مِّنْ آخَرٍ. It was as if I entered into a palace, I came into one door and I walked out the other door, and that was 1,050 years. This is said in Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. You tell me, what is our age? Average ages are between 60 to 70. So inshallah, we need to really wake up and we need to realize, okay, where am I going and what am I doing? Where am I going? What am I doing? Okay, am I preparing for the dunya? Okay, for the duration of time that I'm staying in the dunya, maybe 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes compared to the akhirah. Because Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma says, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told me, "O Abdullah, إِذَا أَصْبَحْتَ فَلَا تَنْتَظِرِ الْمَسَاء." When you wake up in the morning, don't wait for the evening. وَإِذَا أَمْسَيْتَ فَلَا تَنْتَظِرِ الصَّبَاحِ. And when you enter into the evening, don't wait for the morning. وَعُدَّ نَفْسَكَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ الْقُبُورِ. And you take yourself as the people of the grave. So inshallah, that is advice number one. اعمل لدنياك بقدر بقائك فيها. Work for your dunya, the duration of time you are here. Number one. Number two, وَعْمَلْ لِآخِرَتِكَ بقدر مقامك فيها. Work for the akhirah, the duration of time you are staying there. Now you tell me, how long are we staying there? Jannat and Jahannam are not azali, but our aqidah is they are both abadi, la tafnayan. Jannat and Jahannam were not created from day one. It's a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they will remain for eternity. After they have been created, Jannat and Jahannam will not perish. So our stay in Jannah, inshallah, is going to be millions and millions and millions of years, and it will be eternity. Now ask myself and yourself, what are we preparing for the hereafter? Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, when he heard the hadith, okay, if you read the janazah namaz of a believer, you'll get the reward of 1 qirat. 1 qirat is equivalent to Mount Uhud, and there are other explanations given as well. And then if you stay behind for the burial as well, you will get the reward of 2 qirat. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar initially did not go that often to the graveyard and did not perform the janazah until he heard this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he used to say, لَقَدْ ضَيَّعْنَا قَرَارِيت. We have dismissed and we have lost multitudes of reward. So inshallah, the advice number 2, okay, work for your akhirah, the duration of time that we are staying there. And that is eternity. So they say Hassan Bisri rahimahullah. Hassan Bisri rahimahullah. Hassan Bisri was born in 21 AH, and he passed away at the age of 89 in 110. And he is one of the greatest tabi'een of this ummah. Hassan Bisri rahimahullah, he was given tahniq by Salama radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Or at least he was given milk by Salama radiyallahu anha. So this is why the knowledge you'll see of Sayyidina Hassan al-Bisri, so he was a great tabi'i of the ummah. He used to say to his students, who were also tabi'een, had you seen the Sahaba, you would say they are madmen. Ye to pagal log the. And if they were to see you, they would say, ye log to kafir hai. These people are kafir. In other words, the way the Sahaba used to work for the akhirah. This is why you find the hadith mentioned by Imam Muslim. Udhkurullah hatta yuqal majnoon. Allah ko itna yaad karo, log aapko ye kehne lage, ye to pagal ho gaya. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the extent the people say you have gone crazy. And that is a sign of an individual who is preparing himself for the hereafter. Number 3, وَعْمَلْ لِلَّهِ بِقَدْرِ حَاجَتِكَ إِلَيْهِ. Work for Allah how much you need Him. Now you tell me, how much do we need Allah? For every breath I take, I need Allah. If Allah were to stop, everything is in the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Innal qulub bayna isbu'ain min asabi' ar-Rahman." The hearts of humanity are in between and control of the 2 fingers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever the fingers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean, but they are solely in the control of Allah. A individual today is coming into the masjid. If Allah wills, tomorrow I can be away from the masjid and I can never come into the masjid. MashaAllah, one servant said to his master, okay, will you allow me to go to the masjid? So he says, okay, go. Because they were just passing by the masjid. So he says, can I just go to the masjid? He says, oh, okay. Now the Aqa remained outside. The master was outside waiting for him and he did not come in. So now everyone is coming out after namaz and he is not coming out. And then the master shouts from outside, whatever his name was, okay, Abdullah or Hamza or whatever, why are you not coming out? He says, the one who does not allow you to come in does not allow me to come out. जो तुम्हें अंदर नहीं आने देता वो मुझे बाहर नहीं आने देता. In other words, this is a tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how much do we need Allah? That is how much we should remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Advice number 4, وَعْمَلْ لِلنَّارِ بِقَدْرِ صَبْرِكَ عَلَيْهَا. Work for the fire of hell, how much you can tolerate the fire of hell. एक इंसान जहन्नम की आग कितनी बर्दाश्त कर सकता है. Rasulullah, the hadith mentioned by Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, the lowest punished individual in the fire of hell is going to be Abu Talib. The lowest punished. And you know what he will have? He will have a hot burning coal here. Here. في أخمص القدمين. He will have just underneath his foot, he will have a hot burning coal. And that will make his head boil because of that. Now you tell me, how much can we tolerate of Jahannam? We can't. So therefore we should not be disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should not be doing actions that are taking us towards Jahannam. And the last advice he gave, إذا أردت أن تعصي الله فانظر مكانا لا يراك فيه. أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, whenever you decide to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then go and find a place where He does not see you. Go and find a place where Allah ta'ala cannot see you. If ever you find anything, please do let me know as well. وصلى الله على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.